underway. This is the women's 5,000 meter B division. We'll talk more about that later. There are 8 quartets and 1 pairing, and in this single pairing, or in this pairing, there is a solo skater. Not common, but sometimes happen. Representing the country of Kazakhstan, starting in the outer lane is Mariya DEGEN. Thank you for getting her that applause most of the time. There's 2 skaters on the ice. Well, good morning, Simon Coots. Good morning. Simon, 5,000 meters. How many laps around a 400-meter track is this?
This is 12 and a half laps.
All right, so this is a different, let's talk about the distances in the sport. There are, I believe, 7 distances, single distances in long track speed skating, correct? Well, let's go through them. 500 meter, 1,000 meter, 1,500 meter, 3,000 meter, 5,000 meter, 10,000 meter. Did I count? That's 7, right? And then there's the mass start. So the 5,000 meter, would that be considered short, medium, or long distance?
Definitely on the longer side.
So for women, are you with long distance, men competing, is there a women's 10,000 meter distance?
No, the World Cup's the 5,000 meter event is the longest race that we'll compete in.
So if I'm a female long distance skater, what distances would I be competing in?
Depends on the skater, but some would be 3,000, 5,000 meter skaters do that combo.
In Asia, they only had the 3,000 meters. Now here they have the 5,000 meter. So the same skier competed in the 3,000, competed in the 5,000?
Yeah, for the most part. On the World Cup circuit, the 3,000 meter and the 5,000 meter are part of what we call a long distance classification. So a lot of the same skaters compete both to collect points throughout the season to get their final rank at the end of the year.
Now when you skated these distances, didn't you?
I did some of them.
Okay, well you did more than some of them. All right, let's turn our attention to our Kazakhstan skater, Mariya DEGEN. She's skating by herself. How hard is that for her, not having another skater pushing her?
Always depends on your pair. At the end of the day, you're racing against yourself, you're racing against the clock. But sometimes it is nice to have someone side by side grinding out the laps with you. And even being the first pair in the first race today, having to set the standard, not knowing the ice conditions or how fast it might be, that's always been a challenge.
All right, let's have everybody turn their attention to the big board on the west wall. Or you could look at the northwest wall. It's information for the attendees. That is the west wall. Is it not the west wall? Turn your attention to the board where we see the time clicking on. And we see, first of all, the letters PB. What does that represent, Simon?
That is the skater's personal best. That is their fastest time ever achieved in this distance.
All right, let's educate our students here from all the various schools. I see another number, 35.75 on the board. What does that represent, Simon?
Yeah, so as the skaters go around, each lap is 400 meters, and what we call a lap split or a time split, that's the 400 meter time for each lap. Obviously, 12 and a half of those when you get your final time for the distance in this race.
So obviously, you want the lowest lap time as often throughout the race as possible to get the lowest time at the end, correct?
That is correct.
Now, how do we know how many laps Mariya DEGEN has skated so far?
So, down by the finish line, there is a lap counter. Currently, they're showing 5 laps remaining, so that would be the easiest way to see it.
Okay, 12 and 1/2 laps. And when she comes to this number here and sees the number 5, what is that telling her?
It's telling her she's got 5 laps to go, so she's on her last 2,000 meters of the race.
And that number is going to turn over here in just a moment to the number 4. That means she has 4 laps to go in the 12.5 meter race, 12.5 lap race, correct?
Easy peasy, great, you got it.
Okay, now, the time is now 36.65 for the lap time, and when we started talking about lap times a moment ago, it was about 35 and something. What's happening?
Yeah, so lap times will fluctuate, obviously, lap to lap. It's pretty hard to skate consistently down to the 100th of a second every single lap. And in general, in these longer races, the 3,000 and this 5,000 meter race, we will skaters slowly have their lap times drift to the slower end, the longer end.
So, Simon, I've watched speed skating on TV for years. It doesn't seem like the skaters are going that fast. And then I show up in the venue and I sit in the stands and they look like they're going fairly quickly. But I don't really appreciate how quickly they're going because I'm watching Mariya DEGEN right now who's making this look effortless. She's calm, she's smooth, doesn't look like she's going that fast. But if I go down right at ice level, she's going very quickly. The speed at which the speed of the speed skaters, what they show oftentimes doesn't appear actually how fast they're going, correct?
Yeah, it's always one of those things that's hard to catch the camera. People watching the Olympics, people watching the CBCs and speed skating, it's very hard to see how fast they are going. But coming here to the Olympic Oval, see it in person, it really puts in perspective just how quick the skaters they are.
So in a moment, I'm going to get the kids to cheer because Maria's coming to the end of her race. But what's going to happen here right now? I know that you're a pro lap. That's the one lap. Is this her last lap, Simon? There's 2 to go. Okay, great. Mariya Degen's personal best time, Simon, is 7 minutes, 58 seconds, .39. I don't think we've watched the race close enough to get an idea whether she's going to be close to it or not. But as a racer, what is she feeling right now in her body, and what is she thinking about?
Well, at this point in the race, you're just trying to keep your technique together. She's looking strong out there. She's going to finish the high note. There goes the bell. She's going to get everything to finish this last lap. I just think the rest of the final 2 minutes to finish this 5,000 meter race.
Let's let Mariya Degen hear you, Madam. No way. St. Rose Dilemma, Banff Trail, Northcott.